What's up, everybody? Cody Bidlow of sprintingworkouts.com and ATHLETE.X. Today we're out at the track, me and Shingai, doing some block starts, some jump approaches, and maybe a few 20-meter flies too to finish it off. Now with the blocks, really focusing on when we're coming out, not overextending, not trying to bound your way out of the blocks. We want to create a lot of projection, of course. We want to launch ourselves out the blocks, but we don't want to do that at the expense of not being able to get our foot down soon. Because if you think about it, say you project really far your first step, but everyone around you has gotten to their second step before you have. They're propelling into that next step sooner, and you might be left in the dust. Even if you have the best projection out of anybody, if you're not getting your foot down soon enough, you might run into some issues. Now, if you watch guys like Lamont Jacobs, he's great at getting his foot down pretty much as soon as anybody else. Obviously, he's powerful. He's not trying to be artificially quick and just tap dance his way down the track and not go very far. But he's done a great job of finding a middle ground between projecting and having long stride length, with also having good stride rate and being able to build his frequency from the start, not overextending, trying to be too long, and just bounding his way out of the blocks. So that's the main focus today. We'll see how it goes, but I think it'll be a good session. All right, so we're wrapping up this session now. Ended up hitting 3 by 20 meters with the sled to warm up for the blocks, and I had, I believe, 20 pounds on there. It was about a 20% velocity decrement, or sorry, 10% velocity decrement. And then went and did 5 by 30 meters, took a long rest, and then did 4 flying 20s, which is a total of 50 meters per rep. Fastest time on there was 195, so nothing crazy to write home about, but it's not particularly slow either, so kind of a good middle of the road time for such a, a pretty big session. Pretty tired. It's time for a deload week. I think next week I'm not going to be training very much, so my goal with this week is to obviously stay healthy throughout the week, but set myself up to be pretty tired, so that way as I have a planned week pretty much off because of seeing some family and birthdays coming up, stuff like that, that I figure if I can kind of dig myself into a little bit of a hole, kind of reach into some overload territory, then my body will be primed to respond. I'll get some good time off, and then I'll come back ready for some more good training after taking a short little break. So feeling pretty good overall. I'd say the session was a success. To 20 meters, I was hitting 296. So anytime I'm below 3 to 20 meters, I'm satisfied with the session. Obviously I want to be hitting 2.8s, but that'll come with time. If I hit 2.9s all the time and that becomes my new average or my new normal, then on a good day it'll become a 2.8 for my best, and that's how things go. If you can improve in some way or another each session or each week, over time you'll start to see that your typical times you're hitting are starting to get a little bit faster and a little bit faster. So if you have a slow week, don't feel like, oh, it's the end of the world. Maybe you just need a little break, or you're a little overloaded, and that means that you've created enough stress that your body's going to have to respond. And as long as you give yourself the time off, you'll be able to respond. Let's see what's happening over here. Shingai did pretty much the same workout as me, except he added some approaches. So he did, let's see, I think 8 steps, 12 steps, and 20 steps. He's a triple jumper. I think he's jumped 15 meters or something around there, so pretty dang good. One of the top guys out of Zimbabwe. But today we were able to do some blocks together, do some flies together, and then we also broke off and did some stuff on our own. So we were able to get a little competition, and I think if you can get someone who is close to your level, like me and him are pretty close to 30 meters, pretty close over a flying 20. He's a jumper, so he has different priorities, but we're both close enough in our speed that if we run together, we both can get a good, a beneficial effect in that when you're able to have some competition in practice, I think it really helps. It kicks something into gear subconsciously that allows you to hit a slightly higher level of output than you otherwise would. And then if you apply that over time, where say you have, 50 training sessions over some period of time. If you did all those by yourself and then you hopped into a competition, that's going to be a totally new stimuli for you. You're not used to going against other people. Similarly, we were using the starting gun app to start our block starts. If you go all year and you've never reacted to a gun, or you've never competed against anybody in practice, what do you think is going to happen when you get to the meet and now all of a sudden you have to react to a starting gun and you have people all around you? So if you can find people to train with, even if you're faster or slower than them, you're going to benefit. And if you can use things like the starting gun app on your phone to do your block starts, that's going to benefit you, because if you can get used to reacting to a gun, if you can get used to running next to people, then when it comes time to compete, that's not a new stimuli. You're used to it. You're ready to go. So, those are little things that I think can benefit you if you implement them into your training. How'd that feel?
Pretty good. Not bad for the very first day. These are, I think, some of the better approaches I've done up to date. Really.
Nice.
The max V stuff was very beneficial, which was the fly 20s that we just did.
Yep.
So I feel better set up just
Nice.
coming into the border, getting a lot more upright, and also putting my foot down into the board, which is pretty important. So
Well, it kind of tunes you into like what your max frequency and max speed is. So then if you're gonna hit the board at 99% or whatever, you can feel comfortable settling into a relaxed rhythm rather than trying to just blast it as hard as you can.
It's almost like right now I feel like my body does have that extra gear.
Yep.
But now I can gauge the difference between the two, and I can adjust accordingly. If I want to come in faster, I can come in faster, but obviously that always affects what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think good session.
Nice, good work, bro.
Yep. Good session.
It's another one for the books.